All right, let me start this by showing you something. Is the microphone working here? Yeah, it is. Okay. All right, let me start by showing you something funny. A fan sent me this. It is a salt and pepper shaker. A Trump salt and pepper shaker. Look at him there at his podium with tea on it. Amazing. There are two, of course. One for salt, one for pepper. I just brought one to show you. I'll put him right next to Honest Abe. So, tonight I wanted to talk about the Supreme Court pick. I know everyone's probably getting tired of all this already. That's why last night I did the show. I did the recording on another topic, a sad topic. It was about the suicide of Jake Gardner. That video is already getting a lot of action, and I understand why, because it's such a controversial topic. People have a lot of intense feelings about it, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to get lots of views off the young man's death. I think it was important to discuss it, so I don't want to discuss that tonight, and I also don't want to discuss Ruth Bader Ginsburg every single night and her replacement. But I did think I should make this video before Trump makes his selection. He's supposed to make it on Saturday. So I wanted to make it before, because there'll be a lot of more stuff to talk about throughout the week. It's down to about 3 people now, it seems. 3 women. And I understand a lot of people on the right, on the conservative side, on the Republican side, don't think we should be talking about identity politics like the left always does. So in other words, we shouldn't be pushing for Trump to nominate a woman or nominate a Latina woman. We should be pushing for Trump to nominate the right person, no matter who that person happens to be. And I totally agree with all that. You know, I would be happy to see Amy Coney Barrett as the next pick. I don't know a whole lot about her, but she was next in line to Kavanaugh, I believe. She was in the running when Kavanaugh was chosen. I think she was the second choice or third choice. But the reality is that many people vote based on optics, and I made a video about this, based on the intangible stuff. The intangible stuff being the candidate's charisma, the candidate's story, their confidence, their attitude, their general vibe. And I think when Trump makes this pick, he should keep that in mind, and he should treat it as though this person is going to be his running mate or his second running mate alongside Mike Pence. Because this person, whoever it ends up being, is going to be on the front page of every newspaper. She's going to be all through social media. She's going to be talked about on all the evening news and all the local news for a week or two. Her face is going to be plastered everywhere. And for Trump to pick a Latina would be a huge benefit to him. There's no denying that. There aren't many people in his base who are going to have a big problem with that. As much as the left likes to try and make it out that, all the Trump supporters are racist, they would be quite happy to nominate Barbara Lagoa, I believe her name is. And personally, I think that's probably who it should be. And remember, this is not based on any research into their jurisprudence or their philosophy. I know they're both obviously conservative, or else they would not have gotten in the running. They're both probably originalists, as they call it in the legalese. But the important thing about Lagoa is not just her story, but it's the visual. And again, I don't like the fact that we have to be engaged in this identity politics. I don't like the fact that we are now saying we're going to choose a woman. We're going to choose a Latina. And if we do that, we can get this voter block. But this happens to be how politics works. And if Trump is able to do this, if he is able to get her confirmed, it will be a huge victory, not only for his agenda and for having another ally on the Supreme Court, but the visual is so good. And he is going to get votes out of it. Okay? If anyone thinks that he's going to lose votes for pushing it through, you're sadly mistaken. He's not. This is not viewed as a political decision by anyone but those inside the Beltway and those with the huge agenda to push. The average American citizen will be quite glad and quite happy that Trump was able to get someone through and appointed to the Supreme Court. A lot of people, when they're looking at the president, it's not so much what he's doing, it's is he getting stuff done or isn't he? Okay, I know that's hard for us to understand because we're so into the issues, we're so vested in the policies and the agenda and the ideology and the course of the presidency. But there are a lot of people to whom, and this is the majority of voters, unfortunately, to whom that stuff doesn't matter as much. Is he getting stuff done or isn't he? Is he productive or isn't he? They send people to Washington to get things done. You hear that said all the time. And it's true. That's what they look at. If he gets a Supreme Court pick pushed through and they happen to be a woman and a Latina, that's huge. How are they supposed to call the president a white supremacist when he just appointed a Latina to one of the most powerful positions in the country? They're going to have a very hard time doing that. So the optics are amazing. And not only will he get her confirmed, there's going to be a press conference. She's going to give a speech. There's going to be a lot of tears. There's going to be her telling her whole story. The media won't be there to try and intercept and try to run interference for the left and try to demonize her and paint her in a negative light. This is going to be covered live. They have to cover it live. She has a great story. It appears that her parents fled communist Cuba. I'm not sure the details of it, but that's a great story. That fits in with Trump's whole pro-America agenda and anti-socialist, anti-communist stuff as well. And as I say, the optics are great. And it's unfortunate that we need to play the optics game, but that's how it is. That's how politics is. And people vote based on these visuals, based on the accomplishments of the president. It doesn't matter if these accomplishments are left or right. And getting a Supreme Court justice nominated, that will be 3 that he's gotten pushed through if McConnell can pull this off. So that's my thoughts on it. It's not that look, I would love to have Amy Coney Barrett there as well. I think she'd make a great pick. I think her optics would be amazing too. She has, I think, 9 kids. She adopted 2 from Haiti. She's a very pretty woman. She's accomplished. She's smart. She's young. Everything else. So I think both would be a great pick. Don't misunderstand. But the Lagoa pick, I was thinking about it. I'm looking at her bio. And I'm looking at her background. I'm watching her speak when she was nominated to the appellate court or something in Florida. I'm not sure what it was, but she speaks very well. And the visual is so good. And it would be a victory for Trump. And I remember telling someone over the summer and spring when Trump was not doing so well, when he's down 10 or 12 points, and it didn't look good for him at all. He needs 3 things to happen for him to pull this off, for him to win. 2 of those 3 things are in his control. The first one is the convention. He has to give a great convention speech, and he has to get a bump out of that in the polls. He's done that already. The second thing he needs to do is he needs to do well at the debates, and he needs to make Biden look not very good. Those 2 things have to simultaneously happen. He needs to do well at the debates, and he also needs Biden to flub and stutter and basically look like he doesn't have it all together. It needs to be a bad couple nights for Biden and a good couple nights for Trump. Not all 3 nights, but we need to come out of the debates with Trump looking very good and people starting to have doubts about Biden. Those 2 things are in Trump's control. The third thing is out of his control. The third thing is an unforeseen event that makes him look presidential, that makes him look good. And, you never hope for those things, but those things always happen. Remember in 2012, for Obama, it was Hurricane Sandy, him hugging Chris Christie. There's a reason why Republicans were upset with Chris Christie there, because it made Obama look very good, and that was huge for him. They were tied going into that, and he came out with the lead, and he won that election. So this is that outside event, and you don't wish for anyone to pass, no matter how old. We're not thankful that it happened. But this has happened, and now Trump capitalizing on it and pushing someone through and getting them confirmed can be that outside event that makes him look presidential. When whoever the nominee is, whoever the Supreme Court pick is up there giving her speech, and she's got her family around her, she's going to have Trump standing right there. It's going to be incredible optics if Mitch McConnell can pull it off and get the votes. We saw that Romney is in now. I think that's probably because I was ribbing him so much last night in the video. You're welcome. I think my video had a huge effect on that, by the way. So this can be a huge win for the president, and I think it can be an even bigger win if the optics are just right. And I hate to play that game. I hate to play the identity politics game, but this is how people vote. He is going to get a lot of votes out of this, and if it's Barbara Lagoa, he's going to get a lot of Hispanic votes too, probably. He's probably going to get a lot in Florida, a lot in Arizona. And look, is that cynical? Is that, you know, should we only pick someone based upon the qualifications? I wish that were the case, but it's not. And there are a lot of people who are going to be voting on this stuff. So just a short video for you tonight, nothing controversial. I will have many more throughout the week. I'm going to try to do one once every weeknight leading up to the election, and we're going to have lots to talk about. I don't want to talk about the Supreme Court pick every night up until Saturday. That's why last night I chose the other topic. And by the way, I wasn't trying to make that video to you know, get a lot of views out of the suicide of Jacob Gardner. I just thought his story should be told. He should be defended. There aren't enough people out there defending him, and so I thought, why not? And I think it was important to tell the story, and it was important to link it into the broader political discussion. So I will have many more videos. I have to ask you to subscribe. It is right down there now. I have a little image of myself in the corner, a very handsome image. You can click on to subscribe, like, comment, share. I have to say all that stuff now. And I hate saying it. It used to sound so corny when YouTube personalities would say it, but now I know. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That's the first step, because then I can do super chats and all that stuff. So we'll work towards that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your subscriptions. Thank you for all your likes, and we will see you tomorrow.